On the last episode of Yu Yu Hakusho ranking the classes, we had a discussion about the B-class demons. Now the A-classes in this video is going to be a lot easier to get across the point, and it's going to be a lot simpler. So sit back and relax. Welcome to Yu Yu Hakusho's ranking the classes. The A-class demons. To get started, let's clarify something. Sensui initially was weaker than Yusuke until he brought out one of his other sides. It was actually stated that Sensui is 10 times stronger than Yusuke in aura capacity, but actually in the data book it confirms that this was in raw aura in general, which includes strength, making Sensui 10 times stronger than Yusuke as an upper B class. Not only does this make Sensui at the levels of country level, which makes a lot of sense, it also implies that characters such as the upper A-class echelons such as Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama should all possess the same level of power. Keep in mind, it was implied that they needed a character such as Kuwabara's tier in order to break across dimensions, and we already know certain characters such as Darkstroker was B-class, otherwise the SDF would have been sent out much earlier. As it's stated, they only come out for A-class threats. That's why I interpret this scan to mean that an A-class is country level, period. However, in the anime adaptation, it's stated that an A-class is a threat to multiple national units, which includes multiple countries. Which, depending on how you want to interpret it, you can imply that that would mean they could destroy Russia, China, and North and South Korea, which are nearby it. Which goes to show that an A-class demon is extremely powerful. And given the context that Koenma thinks the damage would be inconceivably catastrophic, you can actually argue an A-class demon hits up to Continental. Let me explain. Basically, we all know that any type of A-class at the bare minimum should be around 10 times stronger than an upper B-class, who hits at the highest minimum country level, about 1 teraton of TNT. But we should also notify that Hiei and Kurama also became A-class, so let's assume they're at the low ends of A-class, as even Sensui was surprised as an S-class. It's very clear they're upper S-class because Sensui even stated that they won't die easily. To support the claim, it's actually stated that a horde of 2 girls, which is the bare minimum of 50, would still not be much or anything at all compared to just a single A-class demon. Nonetheless, we're going to use about 10 teratons of TNT in comparison for this example, and that's going to make a bit of sense later on. Now, what is interesting is that Hiei is able to stack on the Dragon of the Darkness flame within himself, which is a second black dragon, which put his life at risk. Hiei was going all out, and we all know that the only characters who used their life force was Kuwabara, Yusuke, and Kurama when they had their fights in their particular arcs, but Hiei, this is his first time pretty much doing so. I won't multiply the life force energy, but just knowing that the black dragon increases to the nth degree should tell us that Hiei should be increased by 10 teratons to the 4th degree. The reason I'm using 10 teratons of TNT and not 900 gigatons is because 900 gigatons to the 4th power is actually much higher than using to the 10th degree. So anytime you use these numbers, you have to avoid using larger numbers or integers because you can end up with what we call calc stacking, which ends up giving you an overinflated number. But I still can use this because it's justifiable in the narrative, but I just need to have a base to use it off of. We all know the mathematic multiplier of the nth degree, and we all know they were country class. I think having them at 7 teratons or 10 teratons regardless will make this pretty simple, but I'm using 10 teratons because it's going to make the math a bit easier. But overall, this gives Hiei about 10,000 teratons of TNT at the bare minimum, which if we take this and divide it, of course, by 1,000, that's going to give us 10 petatons of TNT, which is about multi-continental. I believe this is accurate narratively because it's even stated that an A-class is a threat to the human realm. Keep in mind, some of the top SDF members are actually able to injure Yoko Kurama, and Togashi actually confirms this during his interview as well. Which is interesting because this shows that he is strong enough to make Kurama, that's right, Kurama Yoko badass himself, to run away in pure fear and damaged him enough to have an injury that reverted him to a D class where he had to reside for at least a decade and a half just to recover his powers. And that man's name is Shunjun. he should actually be about 10 times stronger than Yoko Kurama at best, because if you're causing Kurama to run away, which Kurama didn't even run away from Karasu, of course, be it he didn't have a choice, but Kurama would not engage in a battle he knows he cannot win. But given the fact that he caused Kurama to run away, he's at least 3 to 10 times stronger, so I have him in the upper echelons of mid multi-continental, which is extremely impressive. I also want to furthermore explain that the A classes in Yu Hakusho fluctuate in strength just like the B and C classes. And as we could see, some characters such as Shunjun and many of the other SDF members all have the ability to astral travel in their form at will. So technically they're always in this astral form. That's why I scale them to be faster than even Botan, which means they had to go through the realm of darkness since Botan can guide their normal stray spirits, and as we know, the realm of darkness should be a realm where light cannot shine through, either implying it's at the end of a universe or implying it's a type of black hole. Meaning every A class who scales to the SDF needs to be at least light speed. And in some cases where you look at the hyperspace and of course spirit world and human world all having multiple stars, you can actually make an argument for them being massively faster than light. Yes, that is right. Even at the highest pinnacle, you can make an argument that they're massively faster than light at the upper borderline S tier, also known as A tier. You know, basically the super A tiers I like to call them. But the super highest A class demons could easily be at this level, and that just goes to show you how impressive the SDF members truly are, despite the fact that Yusuke made them as fodder. But I'm going to say that's about it for the A-class demons in this video. There's not much else to talk about them except the fact that the higher classes have unique powers, but that's more of a character analysis video. I don't really think there's much to talk about on Kuwabara because Kuwabara technically has an S-tier class power, so I'm not really going to talk about it too much in this video because I want to really give Yusuke, Kuwabara, Kurama, and Hiei their own respect videos, but I'll give them some acknowledgement. Kuwabara does indeed have a sword that transcends dimensions, and since we was looking to use him, and since we of course wasn't even scared of him, but since we had to dodge his attacks, we'll talk a little bit more about, but I just want to have you know that he can deliver these in the form of a sword or even through an actual punch that can travel through mediums, which I think is very impressive. And this is not a Yu Hakusho versus Naruto video, it is not. But I'm saying that if Kuwabara ever fought someone such as Kakashi, Kamui would be proven completely useless. That's just to give you an idea of how versatile Kuwabara's attack or AP can be. Nonetheless, that has pretty much been the video for today. A classes are not only multi-continental at the upper areas, but also massively faster than light, bare minimum. With that said in mind, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you look forward to the next installment, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and get ready because we are going to be talking about the video everyone has been waiting for, the S-Class Demons. And that is it. I am Atari HMB, and I'm signing off. Peace.